That's probably okay.
Okay, here we are. We're back again. We're doing our
like
prelim.
Prelim top 16 plus on the radar plus what did we call it last year? The list breakers.
I don't even remember. As we always say, and as I've said for years, of course it's going to change after prelims. I mean, it's going to, because we all know we've had a favorite at Miss Universe who we loved so much, and then we saw them at prelims and they just didn't deliver. It's not a bad thing. It's just some people don't have that stage or it factor about them. Yeah. And that's okay.
No, for sure. It's happening quick. It's happening on Wednesday.
Do you know what time?
No. Yeah, it's on Wednesday. Finals on Saturday. For the first time in a long time, I'm like kind of excited about who's performing. John Legend is performing, which is like exciting.
That is exciting.
So that's cool. That's something to look forward to. Do you want to start then with like on the radar?
No.
Right now?
They can be at the end.
At the end?
Yeah.
This is really no particular order. Without further ado, I'm just going to show my phone because I have pictures on my phone. So first up is Panama. Natasha, she's 26, and there's just something about Natasha, there's something about Panama this year that I like, and I might say this a lot throughout the course of this video, like we kind of mentioned at the start. I'm excited to see her on Wednesday. I'm excited to see her in prelims and see what she brings to the stage, because from what I've seen just on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, she's looking good. Mm-hmm. So I'll get that out of the way right now, and I'll probably end up saying it again, but
well, I think we've said it so many times too, because when we were there in Atlanta 4 years ago at Miss Universe, when South Africa came out in prelims, there were, I feel like, a gasp among everyone. There was like a goosebump feeling moment of like, she's the winner. So when we went into watching the finals, it was almost like we already knew. And I feel like it wasn't just us. Like, I feel like other people had that feeling as well. So that's the power of prelims, and especially being there in person. I wish we could all be there in person to feel that and see that. It's really something.
For sure.
Next on our list, again, no particular order, is Miss France. Miss France has this very like sophisticated, regal, she is 26, and remind me, did she win Miss France, or how did this work again?
Yeah, so she won Miss France. I guess it would have been like the 2022 edition of Miss France.
Okay.
Was supposed to compete last year at Miss Universe, and then I don't know if this is the real reason or not, but I saw that she said she just wasn't ready to compete last year. So yeah, she was Miss France 2022. First runner up, ended up like taking her spot, I guess, last year, and now she's ready. She's ready to go this year.
She's ready to go. I can really see her rising to the top.
Next up, there we go. We have Nigeria. Something about Nigeria too. I don't know. There's some girls, but like you can't really put your finger on it. They just kind of, like we mentioned, that it factor a little bit. Like there's something, like her aura, her vibe. I really like Nigeria. She has some pageant experience. She finished in the top 15 back in 2017 at it was at Miss World.
Oh right.
Yeah, which is it's crazy. That's 6 years ago now, though.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, that's why she's familiar, and she has a very confident, like her posing is very confident. She has that like. She
carries herself very well. So
next we have Venezuela. Diana is 26. She was top 8 at Miss Earth. Her confidence, her posing reminds me of what we were just talking about with Miss Nigeria. Like they seem very sure of themselves, and that's a really big thing that Miss Universe has looked for, at least in the past, is somebody who's so confident in themselves, because whoever goes on to win Miss Universe is really put onto this pedestal, into the spotlight, and they have to be able to handle anything that comes their way. So those two girls have this confident aura about them.
Next up, we have Ecuador.
Huge fan favorite.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Yeah, she's 23, and we've mentioned this kind of natural, authentic beauty, and I think she totally possesses that. It seems
she looks nice.
She does. Yeah, she looks like a kind person, which is awesome. Like, and you mentioned like being nice goes a long ways.
It does.
It's you want somebody who's approachable, somebody who's nice, somebody who's easy to talk to, get along with. I don't know if she's any of these things. That's what she looks like. Talking about like a Miss Universe, like it'd be noce to have somebody who's nice.
Yeah.
And it's a good trait to have.
It is a good trait to have. USA.
There we go.
There we have Miss USA. Miss USA obviously has big shoes to fill, because the current Miss Universe is none other than Miss USA. And so I feel like people always watch the country who is the current title holder even more, and there's that added pressure, I'm sure, on Miss USA, because really, unless she wins, like, she can't get any higher, right, than the ranking of the previous Miss USA. And so I think she has big shoes to fill. I hope that she doesn't let that impact her experience, because based on what I've seen from contestants in the past, if their country did super well, they just have that extra pressure to perform. But what we're seeing from Miss USA is amazing styling, love her outfits. Again, big shoes to fill. Arbany has like the coolest outfits ever. We're loving what we're seeing from Miss USA. I think she's 24, which is the average winning age of Miss Universe, I think. At least it was a couple years ago. So
it might go up now that there's no age limit.
That's true, now that there's no age limit. Yeah, that's
anyway,
true.
I think USA always brings a great candidate just because it's such a big competition, such a big deal to win Miss USA in the first place. There's 50 states that compete for it. It's a huge deal. It's a big thing just to become a state winner.
This is so random, but when I was a judge at Miss California, and Miss California, just the state pageant was like more well organized, more competitive than like Miss Universe Canada. Like that.
I'm struggling with it. Next up is Nicaragua.
Nicaragua always has a lot of fans, but she'll especially have more fans being that it's in El Salvador, which is so close.
She's 23, and we talked about that look and that vibe and that aura, the confidence. Yeah, she carries herself so well, and again, I'm really excited to see her on Wednesday. As it gets closer, I'm definitely getting more and more excited about it.
Yeah. Next on our list is a huge favorite this year, Miss Brazil. The only thing I think holding Brazil back, if you will, which I don't think was as much of a factor before, is her age. She's only 19, which has pros and cons, if you will. I would say that Miss Universe in these recent years has looked for someone who's a bit more mature. Not saying, like, she could be so wise beyond her years, we don't know, we aren't in on the interview, but when I saw her age, I was like, oh, I wonder if that's gonna be a negative for her. But she's a huge favorite, very photogenic, love what I've seen from her in video. She carries that confidence as well, so would love to see her in the semifinals.
Totally, and she doesn't look 19 at all.
No, like, of course.
I know girls usually mature a lot faster than guys and stuff, but
she's
I would never,
than you.
Yeah, I know. Next up, we have Puerto Rico. Again, talk about
big favorites.
Big favorites, yeah. She's 26. She was runner-up at Miss Supranational in 2021, so has that pageant experience, has been towards the end of the competition before. Which,
her and I were both first runners.
Yeah. You guys have something in common with that. Crazy. Yeah, I think she has a lot of potential. I'm really excited to see her strut her stuff. It does seem like that experience in pageants is a huge thing, though.
You know what's so funny? I'm just thinking of this. In recent years anyways, this is the year where the contestants are crossovers.
Right.
Do you think that plays so high?
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Like, so many.
Yeah, there are, really. As we go through the list, it'll be kind of a recurring
so
theme.
Many.
Yeah.
Philippines, Canada, Thailand, Puerto Rico, Nigeria, Canada. See you! Next on our list, dare I say, another fan favorite.
Yeah.
Are there more fan favorites than ever too, or what's going on here?
What's going on.
Or is it Miss South Africa? South Africa always brings an amazing contestant just based on what they've done with their pageant in recent times. Tony is 27, and she was actually first runner-up. Bryony? Okay, Bryony.
I think Bryony.
She was first runner-up, right, at the pageant? Oh yeah, so she was first runner. Okay, of course. Yeah. So she was first runner-up to Natasha Hubert, who is the Miss South Africa. But of course, as all of you probably know, Natasha competed at Miss Universe representing South Africa, and she was one of the biggest heartbreaks we have ever had. She did not place in the semifinals at Miss Universe. I feel like there's still that empty space, so maybe Bryony is going to fill that spot for us.
Yeah, it was a weird year. That was the COVID year, the 2020 edition.
Right.
And yeah, it was strange. I've never been so confused. Like, I've been only doing this for whatever 4 or 5 years now, but that's like one of the biggest shocks I've had. We
were so shocked at everything, and probably as well because we came off of Atlanta.
Really?
That was our last Miss Universe, where we felt so confident.
Exactly.
We felt like we saw so much. Anyways, it's fine.
Next up on our list, we have arguably another fan favorite. We have India, and she's so striking.
She is so striking.
She's so striking. Like, I hate to use the word, but she's striking. Doesn't look like anybody else in the competition, in my opinion, which I really like about her.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Yeah, she's beautiful. Like, I'm very drawn to her. I'm very intrigued by her. I'm very excited to see her on Wednesday.
Now we have Miss Mexico. Again, a big favorite because She was first runner-up at Miss Earth 2018. So again, this is what, the 7th contestant or 6th?
I'm losing count.
That has had very high performance, like very high placing performance, a high placing performance at another big international pageant. First runner-up at Miss Earth, like that's unbelievable. It's just, even though they're different pageants, it really proves to us that they can stand out from several other contestants, several other countries. And I've seen a lot about Miss Mexico, so we're paying extra attention to her to see her performance.
Maybe it's worth mentioning like the way that Miss Universe is evolving. And maybe it's like a girl who competed at Supranational or Miss Earth maybe in the past like wouldn't compete at Miss Universe or didn't have like that Miss Universe look.
Oh, okay.
But if it's more of like an inclusive type of pageant where it's not such a cookie cutter, like this is what you look like, this is where you're going to compete. Now you can compete in Miss Universe.
Right, yeah, because in the past we'd say, oh, she's more Miss World, she's more this.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's something worth mentioning.
And another former. we have
a bit of a reoccurring, if it focuses, there we go. Thailand.
Yeah, wow. So talk about high placing.
Yeah.
Miss Thailand was Miss Supranational.
2019.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I feel like when she won Miss Supranational, people were like, no, she needs to go to Miss Universe. And here she is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's exciting. It's obviously Miss Thailand knows a little something about winning a big international pageant, so that might bode well for her in this year's edition of Miss Universe. But again, I'm very drawn to her, like with a lot of these girls, and I mean why they end up on her list is that they have like that factor, and she does seem so likable out of the content I've seen, like with interacting with the other girls and stuff. And next up, cool, it like focuses in.
Yeah,
it's like blurry. Yeah, no, it's good. Canada.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm high on Canada this year.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I was going through her Instagram, looking at some different stuff just today, just to kind of refresh myself, and I'm liking Canada.
Yeah. Madison competed at Miss Universe Canada last year as well. I think she was the first runner-up. Was it last year at Miss Universe Canada? I can't remember. Again, she was a top 8 placer at Miss International, right?
Yeah, she was top 8 in Miss International 2022, so just last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's beautiful. She's angelic.
Yeah, and I feel like she brings her photos, everything is beautiful, it's polished, but she just like brings it on stage. At Prelims, I think we're really gonna see something from her that maybe people aren't gonna expect, you know?
Yeah, she looks like an angel. She floats like a butterfly.
She has beautiful facial structure.
So I'll show this picture to kind of lead into this next one. So these two people in this picture.
Two of our favorites, you know, if we have to say it.
Who's in this picture, Sierra?
We have Miss Canada, who we just talked about, and Miss Colombia.
Oh, Colombia.
When we saw Miss Colombia, like we've seen things of her, but when we saw her in that behind the scenes Miss Universe YouTube video, we were like, wow. She felt like a favorite in that moment.
Yeah, we felt a strong inclination, like a strong liking towards her.
Yeah, and she is one of the married women in this year's Miss Universe competition, which is so cool to say. Some people right now are gonna be like, oh, she should go compete at Mrs. Universe, but I'm sorry, there is nothing like Miss Universe. Like if I had been married, I would have, like Miss Universe still would have been my dream, right? So why can't she compete at Miss Universe? Miss Universe is the ultimate pageant. I don't care what people say. Going to Mrs. Universe, no, that just does not compare. Miss Universe has always been a pageant, a competition that should have been inclusive of all these women, and I still believe it took them too long to do away with these rules. But I think there's one other married woman competing. I can't remember which country. If you guys know, please let us know in the comments. Take it away.
Not
saying too much about
only
Colombia.
is she married.
Yep.
What else?
She is a mother. Like I think that's so cool.
Yeah,
like she is being able to fulfill that dream of being at Miss Universe that she never would have been able to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what so many people, they don't put themselves in that position and think like, if I had the dream of going to Miss Universe, like they just think, oh, it was a rule for whatever. Anyway.
Right. So yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, we talk about Miss Universe kind of being in their inclusivity era. This stance they've taken to including everybody, not having an age limit, allowing people with kids. Oh,
how surprise!
Yeah. I think it looks okay.
I think it's good.
Okay.
Philippines. We talked about Michelle D in our last video because she has been a favorite of ours for a long time. Again, a high performer at an international pageant. Not only that, she has the pageant genetics.
Yeah, daughter of Miss International in 1979, the winner of Miss World Philippines 2019, the current Miss Universe Philippines, and the future...
Could she be Miss Universe? She has it. Like, look at her. I just love, obviously I love her hair because she has the shorter hairstyle, which we hardly ever see at Miss Universe. We've been seeing it more in recent years because, yeah, the first thing that most women do when they're going to go compete at a pageant is get hair extensions, which is totally cool, totally great, but I just love that she's different. She's unique and she's showing up as herself.
But she has that vibe.
Yeah, I mean, so many people see it, not just us and the Filipino fans. I feel like so many people see it.
100%,
She's an athlete.
Yeah.
I think she played volleyball, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah, that concludes
our 16.
Our 16, which,
so far.
Yeah, and then we get into the on the radar. We
have
so many
we have some on the radar, as so many of you do. Prediction lists, we'll call them, they'll say bubbling up.
Right.
That's what they always say. Yeah. Bubbling up.
Yeah, dark
on
horse,
the radar,
if you
dark
will.
horse.
Yeah, all kinds of different ways. Anyway, these are who we have. We have Portugal,
Zimbabwe,
the Netherlands,
Namibia,
Spain,
Australia,
Lebanon,
Peru,
Dominican Republic,
Chile,
Guatemala,
and Nepal.
Yeah.
And I want to give an honorable mention to Nepal because she actually reached out to me and I just emailed her back about doing an Instagram live. She asked me if I would do an Instagram live with her, and hopefully she'll respond. If she sees this, tell her to respond to my email. I'm sure their schedule is so busy, but like it'd be so fun to do an Instagram live. That's what she emailed me about. And Miss Nepal is very much an advocate for body positivity on her social media platforms, on the Miss Nepal platform, which is amazing to see. We obviously need more of that in every space in the world, so cool to see Miss Nepal advocating for that.
Absolutely, yeah. So let us know who you guys are most looking forward to seeing on Wednesday, which is like basically it's today. It's happening right now. it's happening very soon. So let us know who you're excited to see, and let us know right now who's your favorite to win this edition of Miss Universe.
We'll see you guys Wednesday because we will live stream. So great to be back with all of you. We have loved your messages and comments. We might not be able to like and respond to every single comment, but we see it and we feel it. So thank you guys so much. Honestly, it feels so nice to know people are appreciating hearing our opinions, and we see yours too. And it's just obviously that's what's so cool about this is like that back and forth community. Yeah, so cool.
Totally cool.
Go Miss Universe.
Yeah. Well, thanks again.
See you next time. So like and subscribe.